Circulatory system consists of heart, blood vessels, and the fluid which is circulated. It is of two types, open types and closed circulatory system. Arthropods and mollusks have open circulatory system in which blood pumped by the heart passes through large vessels into open spaces or body cavities called sinuses. And annelids and chordates have a closed circulatory system in which the blood pumped by the heart is always circulated through a closed network of blood vessels. This pattern is considered to be more advantageous. Now, heart made up of cardiac muscles, and all vertebrates possess a muscular chambered heart. Fishes have a two-chambered heart with an atrium and a ventricle. So there is only. And amphibians and the reptiles except crocodiles have three-chambered heart with two atria and a single ventricles. Whereas crocodiles, birds and mammals possess a four-chambered heart with two atria and two ventricles. This is the four-chambered. There are different types of circulation: single circulation, incomplete, double and double circulations. In fishes, the heart pumps out of deoxygenated blood which is oxygenated by the gills and supplied to the body parts from where deoxygenated blood is returned to the heart. This is called single circulation. There is only one time blood is circulated to the heart. This is simple one. And next is the incomplete double circulations. In amphibians and reptiles, the left atrium receives oxygenated blood from the gills, lungs or skin, and the right atrium gets the deoxygenated blood from other body parts. However, they get mixed up in the single ventricle which pumps out mixed blood. So this is incomplete double circulations. In diagrams you can see this is the three-chambered heart which possesses the incomplete double circulations. There is only one ventricle but there is two atrium, left and right atriums. Now in birds and mammals, oxygenated and deoxygenated blood received by the left and the right atria respectively passes on to the ventricles of the same sides. The ventricles pump it out without any mixing up. That is, two separate circulation pathways are present in these organisms. Hence, these animals have double circulations. We have, in human beings, have a double circulations. So, heart is the mesodermally derived organ, is situated in the thoracic cavity in between the two lungs, slightly tilted to the left. It has the size of a clenched fist. It is have two types of vessels, blood vessels, that is artery and veins. Arteries are the blood vessels that carry oxygenated blood away from the heart, where it branches into the even smaller vessels. Finally, a smallest artery is called the arterioles. And this is the double circulation. And veins are the blood vessels that carry deoxygenated blood from different parts of the body of the heart. With the exception pulmonary artery and vein, pulmonary arteries carries deoxygenated blood from the heart to the lungs, whereas the pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart. So this is the heart, and heart, it is protected by a double-walled membranous bag that is called pericardium, enclosing the pericardial fluid. Our heart has 4 chambers. 2 relatively smaller upper chambers are called atria, and 2 larger lower chambers are called ventricles. So right atrium, left atrium, and right ventricle and left ventricle. These are the 4 chambers. A thin muscular wall called the interatrial septum separates the right and the left atria, whereas a thick wall, the interventricular septum separates the left and the right ventricles. The atrium and the ventricle of the same side are also separated by a thick fibrous tissue called the atrioventricular septum. However, there are 3 types of valves. First is the tricuspid valves. The opening between the right atrium and the right ventricle is guarded by a valve formed by a 3 muscular flap or cups, the tricuspid valves, where a bicuspid or mitral valve guards the opening between the left atrium and the left ventricle. The opening of the right and the left ventricles into the pulmonary artery and the aorta respectively are provided with the semilunar valves. The valves in the heart allow the flow of blood only in one direction, from the atria to the ventricle and from the ventricle to the pulmonary artery or aorta. Heartbeat, there is though 2 lub-dub sounds are when tricuspid valve and bicuspid valve are closed, then there is a lub sound is listened, and dub sound by the closure of the this valve that is called semilunar valves. So their entire tissue heart is made up of cardiac muscle. The wall of the ventricle are much thinner than the atria. A special cardiac musculature called nodal tissue is also distributed in the heart. A patch of this tissue is present in the right upper corner of the right atrium called the sinoatrial node. Another mass of this tissue is seen in the lower left corner of the right atrium close to the anterioventricular septum called the anterioventricular node, AVN. A bundle of nodal fibers, atrioventricular bundle, continues from the AVNs, which passes through the atrioventricular septa to emerge onto the top of interventricular septum and immediately divides into the right and left bundles. This channel gives rise to minute fibers throughout the ventricular musculature of the respective sides and are called Purkinje fibers. Sun produces action potentials. So the nodal musculature has the ability to generate action potential without any external stimuli. It is auto-excitable. However, the number of action potential that could be generated in a minute vary at different parts of the nodal system. Sun can generate the maximum number of action potential, that is 70 to 75 per minute. And so it is called pacemaker also. When there is a artificial pacemaker is also needed when there is problem in the natural pacemakers. So this is the artificial pacemaker has been added to function as a natural pacemaker. So there are 3 types of circulations: single circulation, incomplete double circulation, and double circulations. Now discuss the heart. Is the only organ in the human which is responsible for the blood circulation. It contains 4 chambered: right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle, and left ventricle. As we know, the double circulation takes place in 4 chambered heart, Double circulation consists of pulmonary and the systemic circulations. Pulmonary circulation consists of circulation of the blood between the heart and the lungs, and the systemic circulations consist of circulation of the blood between heart and the tissues of the body from heart to toes. Pulmonary circulation oxygenate blood into the lungs and return it to the heart. The systemic circulation provides nutrients, oxygen and other essential substances to the tissues and takes CO2 and other harmful substances away for the this elimination. A unique vascular connection exists between the digestive tract and liver called the hepatic portal systems. The hepatic portal vein carries blood from intestine to the liver before it is delivered to the systemic circulation. A special coronary system of the blood vessel is present in our body exclusively for the circulation of blood to and from the cardiac musculars. So this is the heart. We'll next discuss the cardiac cycle. Thank you.